Hi there, we're back to the Bitcoins today. And we'll start with Bitcoin, and then subsequent sessions will be Ethereum, Ripple, as well as Solana. So quickly into Bitcoin. So what we're seeing now is the weekly chart, and you've seen this many times if you are not the first time with me. We're basically after the upthrust of the distribution stage. Over the past 7 weeks, if we zoom in a little bit more, if we look at the candles, these 7 candles, including this week, are basically battling around this green support resistance line. This is the level set around the upthrust and also the subsequent second test. So this line somewhere around 105,000 is the place where the past 7 weeks the bulls and bears are battling around. So one more thing in addition to the Wyckoff pattern, so we see right there on my left hand side over here, you see that box, the blue box over there. That's the invisible trend, let's put it this way. So from the buying climax, let me change the view back. So the buying climax over here, this spot, and then the upthrust, and the sign of weakness as well as the downward movement that set the low point for the upthrust. They basically form this trading zone, so it's slightly upwards. So it's good to tell whether we are gaining momentum for a boost. So I was initially thinking, if this leg up is more straightforward, I mean taking less time, so maybe it took a pause for 3 weeks and then starting from the 4th or 5th week, then it goes up and hit this top edge of the trend or the box. That would be around 1200, not 1200, sorry, 120 or 130k. That's probably why you have seen some predictions like that as well in other places. However, it's taking longer than expected. It's not that we are having these kind of actions, that's not a problem, because it does exhibit that as well, and it came down before it shoots up again. So the thing is, this peak isn't gaining as much momentum as in the upthrust. That's what I'm trying to point out. So if it does, it would have reached this point. However, it's not over yet. Like I said in the beginning, the bulls and bears are still battling around this green line. The only thing that would worries me, for the bulls, is it drops outside of this box, the bottom edge of this box, because that means this upward trend is broken. And then if it finds support over here, if it does really come down and hits the yellow line or the bottom edge of the blue box and regains momentum, it's still possible that it goes somewhere near the upthrust of the distribution level or even a little bit higher. So that's one of the possibilities. Actually, I've covered 2. One is coming outside of the upward trend. Of course, it can continue to linger around until it reaches this point where it has to do something, right? When it touches the edge of the box, it has to either bounce up or just fall outside of the box and show some other trends. So that's the big picture. In terms of daily, so last week we talked about these downward trends, and the price broke out already during the middle of the week or early of the week. I've changed some color, so it's much easier to tell now. The very short-term trend, I use yellow boxes. The trend that lasts for maybe like over 2 weeks to roughly a month or so, I'll use these blue boxes. And even longer, even though I call them short-term playground zone, it's in pink. So the yellow boxes, we talked about it last week. Now it has broken out. But then if we look at this blue box, this trend is still going on. So it's a slightly downward trend. And if I draw a center line over here, you see currently, like when it shot up on Monday, the price has entered the top half of the box. So when it happened last few times, it didn't last very long. So this one lasted for 3 days. This one, the next day, it already dropped back to the lower half of the box. And over here, it lasted a little bit longer. However, it was like bouncing crazily at this point. So as of this moment, we are seeing this like decreasing volume as well as flattening trend. So if it flattens, maybe something is accumulating, or maybe it's just losing steam. So I've switched on the Bollinger Band Keltner squeeze indication. I've changed the colors as well, so there won't be a color overlap, so it's easier when I explain it. I've talked about it before, but if you're new to this, basically this, whenever we see the orange bracketing the purple are the Bollinger Bands. So if the orange encapsulates the purple, much like what we have seen earlier right here. So you see the orange outside of the purple, right? The squeeze kind of pushed the price downward. However, currently we're near, but not yet. So here the orange is outside of the purple, but the top edge isn't. So this squeeze downwards and then like a boost upwards sounds like, or seems like, this trend is going to, or this price is going to linger around for the or within the upper half of the box for maybe a few more days if nothing special happens. Remember last week, that was when the price dropped very fiercely over the weekend. Hopefully it's not going to repeat this week, but we never know, so be prepared. Don't leave your orders open over the weekend. Make sure you have your stop loss ready. So back to here, basically there's no new like yellow ultra short term trend established yet, so we'll follow the blue box. So the top over here, it's around 110k roughly. The bottom, obviously it has moved further down to 99k 700, 800. So that's where Bitcoin is right now. So I'll move on to Ethereum